Hey, this is Robert Usardi with what I have been vibe coding today. It is the bartending system in the cyberpunk game Sprawl Life. I have been building with AI Claude Code, making basically this little bartending simulator here that you're seeing. So basically what I did is came in, I told the AI, hey, let's create a bartending mini game. I want there to be a glass. I want to be able to pour the glass. And so I've been working on this for a couple hours now. Find vibe coding is very much like film editing. I come in with a rough draft and then we revise it, revise it again and again. If I wanted to get liquid inside of the glass, I needed to find a way to basically tell the AI like where is the area in which the liquid is in, because it wasn't going to magically know. And I've already worked with AI to know enough that I might be able to build a smart tool that could take a while. So instead, I built a custom tool where I actually go in and I select these things. So basically, you can see here is the label. So the label sits over the liquid. And then we also have points where I click in and I identify where the sides of the glass wall is, where the inner wall is. And so basically, the end result is that when I go in here, you basically have this glass here that can tip over and pour in. So there's going to be more to this mini game. There's going to be like how much of each liquid you put in. There's going to be NPCs who come up and talk to you. You're going to have to deal with like how do you arrange the space here between the glasses you have and how much do you have of each drink. So there's a lot more to this mini game. So this is just kind of the start of it. This is only after about 3 hours of working on this, and that includes going in and making a bunch of the other glasses here. So here I have like the nebula glass. So this is going to be one of the alcohols in the game that you'll be able to serve. I'm still not sure if this shape is going to work within the system that I have. I'm going to do what I can to make this, but I love this look. I wanted each of the glasses to kind of look a little bit different, feel a little bit different. So I made all of these with ChatGPT. So here were some of my ChatGPT prompts: generate an image from this prompt, stylized game item icon of a stylishly shaped alcohol bottle from a nightclub, completely empty. And I love ChatGPT for images because it will actually do transparent backgrounds. So I just have to tell it make the background actually transparent, and it does it most of the time. So here's what it kind of looks like when I've been talking to it back and forth in VS Code, which is what I use Claude Code in. So just me and it talking back and forth. I kept telling it, hey, we need to, the liquid is not showing up. Like, why is the not liquid not showing up? And had to go back and forth. Is it like the layering of the liquid and the glass? And we went back and forth a lot of times. I when we originally created this, basically this water effect, originally, really didn't look like water. I had to tell it, hey, make it look like water. We tried a couple of GoDot plugins because I'm making this in GoDot, and none of those plugins worked. So we ended up actually just making our own because I was like, look, like this is what I want and this is what's happening. Originally, it was like a lot of little like dots that it was using, and I didn't like the little dot method. I wanted it to look really like liquid, and so that's what we got it to look like. It even has the splashes, and if I fill it up too much on one side, it'll spill over. One of the last things I had it put in was basically make it look like the water's actually pulling out to the sides. Originally, it would splash and it wouldn't pull out. And even right now, you can see there's an issue where it almost like keeps expanding forever. So it's the next thing I'm going to do is go in and say, hey, the liquid almost seems to be pulling forever. Let's just have to just adjust all these things for the actual production version of this. Thing that I've been doing in the last couple of days with the AI is actually creating a trailer for Sprawl Life. It's probably going to be another week or so until the trailer is live. I used to work in movies. I was a Hollywood Blacklist screenwriting finalist, which is a kind of a pretty big deal out there in Hollywood. And I was also a script doctor, film editor. I know how to make movies. I've made movies. I've been using this in Kling. I'd probably prefer to use Dance, but I already had a Kling subscription. I forgot to cancel, so it automatically renews, and I'm just using those credits. So
A
this kid, he
cyberpunk life adventure.
goes into the copy mart, big epic angle with the gimbal over him as he's running through the rain. Very 80s, maybe not quite cyberpunk feel, very 80s feel. And then, he finds the Sprawl Life cover. That's actually the first time I'm showing the cover to anybody. And then, so after this, he's going to end up at home and he's going to put it into his computer and he's going to play it. And you're going to see clips of the game while he, is roaring and cheering. So that's something I threw together pretty quickly. I've actually been using these video tools off and on, so I know pretty well how to use them now. But you can see how this has all come together with AI is really just being a huge tool for me to build this all out. Like I'm building like a whole new studio that is based around video games, movies, not blockchain anymore. That company is dead and gone that I had built. But we're into something new now with AI being able to help me be extremely productive, make these tools. Like all this stuff I've shown you today is happening very fast. I'm building it all very, very fast. And it's not always perfect. You can see back here in the background, you can't tell what some of these things say on the walls. And Sprawl Life seems to be on a couple of the extra boxes that they shouldn't be. But I mean, this is the worst the technology is ever going to be. And how I've been throwing that together is pretty simple. I've been using ChatGPT. Basically, I had it use my box art that it also created for me. And I did a lot of other things like put the logo on there. But basically, I gave it images to create like this box art in 1980s feel, and then had it create this character of little boy from the 1980s. I guess he's probably 10 years old or something, in yellow parka and fit the times. And then I basically had it put together the storyboard, and then I fed the storyboard and the descriptions into the Kling video app. So you can see this is how a lot of people are getting great results. And I find that you try not to overload the AI with information any one time. Really just want to try to give it as specific information as you possibly can, and into chunks that it can basically inference. This way it actually uses less overhead inference when it's initially thinking about things. I find a lot of people are throwing too much information at AI that is not it's too much sometimes. They throw too much information at the AI all at once. It doesn't know what to do with all of it. You kind of have to piecemeal things together, like creating this box art, creating the reference sheet, storyboard that is just succinct enough that I'm able to then feed it into the AI, and then I basically give it the shot list of what I want to be in there as text as well. So basically with AI, you really just want to start with the building steps, little things like, just think of it as editing when you work with AI. First you just throw something down into the timeline, and a lot of people are editing these days. They start from scratch. You start with something small, and then you just build, and then as you get better at it, you can actually just throw things together very, very quickly. So some other fun things I used AI for today was actually getting my OBS setup back in. I actually had it create this little chamfered sci-fi border thing that you see at the bottom. I also had it install a background blurring OBS filter. So basically, I was able to have this blurred background. As you can see, I tried to set it up manually as much when it comes to the actual settings. But for just installing it, I was just like, I could go online searching for an OBS plugin, but actually saves me probably, I don't know, 70% of the time, if I just go and I tell the AI, hey, go and download the plugin for me, find my OBS, install the plugin, and then I also had it create the little chamfered look within this border that you see around me right now as well. That actually took a little bit more back and forth than I would have liked, but I actually probably did still save me maybe 10 or 20% of the time if I just actually tried to do it on my own. But sometimes that's AI. Sometimes it does things, just saves me, 70, 80, 90% of the time or more. And sometimes, very rarely, it actually takes me longer to do something on my own, do something with AI than it would on my own. But I find that's actually pretty rare. Most of the time, if I have the AI do it, it does it much faster for me. But that's it. That is what we've been vibe coding today. Sprawl Life coming out pretty soon. Cyberpunk Adventure, Life Simulator, and RPG coming out on Steam pretty soon.